Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. It is 7:30 p.m. It is the 19th of May, Sunday. And as always, we're going to look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press over the last couple of days or so here in Spain. We'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently too. And then in the second half of the video, we'll go into the live stream, which I have to my right, and check out what is happening in that live stream. So if you're watching today, say good day, say hello in that live chat. Now, straight into the news, and today it's all about Spain-Argentina relations, because the president of Argentina, of course, is in Spain, but it's not an official visit. He's here on behalf of the Vox party and not going to visit the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez or the King Felipe VI while he is here. And of course, it has caused issues, which we'll get to in just a moment. But as we can see here, Spanish businessman behind closed doors with Milei, he tells us that he will turn Argentina into a reliable country for investment, they say. The president of Argentina, Javier Milei, has managed to bring together some 15 representatives of large Spanish companies and banks at a meeting in Madrid to try to attract investment. He has told us he will turn Argentina into a reliable country for investment, said to this newspaper one of the attendees, who requested anonymity in view of the controversy unleashed by the visit of the Argentine president and his bad relationship with the government, the Spanish government. According to the testimonies gathered by the newspaper, Milei did not attack Pedro Sanchez's government and focused on explaining his economic plan for Argentina and his interest in having foreign investment, particularly Spanish, to boost growth and employment. And apparently Milei promising to get inflation down in Argentina, which currently sits at around 290%, something like that. Don't quote me on the exact figure. 290% per annum in Argentina, which basically means, if you're not familiar with the concept of inflation, that the prices last year, what you paid for something last year, you pay today 290% more. But again, don't quote me on that exact inflation figure, but it's up there. It's up there. So Mr. Milei going to reduce inflation, try to get people to invest in the country, and also offering legal security, which, as we know, in some countries can be an issue, not only in South America, but sometimes here in Spain also. Legal security can be an issue. The second piece of news, Pedro Sanchez, as a result of Mr. Milei's visit, is questioning it and his support of Vox. We represent everything they detest, Pedro Sanchez has said. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has pointed out this Saturday that during a political event in Catalonia, that the international ultra-right has chosen Spain to meet because Spanish society represents everything they detest and hate, in reference to the event organised by Vox this weekend, attended by the ultra-right leaders such as Javier Milei, President of Argentina, or Marine Le Pen, French deputy. Well, do you know what I say to these representatives of the ultra-right international? That we beat them in the general elections, we beat them in the autonomic elections in Catalonia, and we will beat them in the European elections on June the 9th, he said. So Pedro Sanchez questioning the visit and saying that his government here, or Spain in general, I should say, because that's what he's referring to here, represent everything that the ultra-right detests. And today, Mr. Milei came out and said some harsh words about Pedro Sanchez and his wife, called her something that that people suspect but nobody has proven yet. And as a result, Spain has cut diplomatic ties with Argentina. They have called the ambassador in, the Argentine ambassador in Spain, I think, to try to get some replies, but tensions between the two countries. I don't know whether relations have been cut 100% or whether they want answers before they cut ties, because the Argentine president today saying some serious things about Mr. Sanchez's wife, Begoña Gomez and her business dealings, of course, which are under scrutiny at the moment. So we'll see how this one plays out, but tensions between the two countries, and also in part because Mr. Milei not here on an official visit, here to put his support towards the ultra-right, as Pedro Sanchez has referred to it. And the final piece of news, and a surprising piece of news, something happened last night that has people wondering what exactly was it that crossed the sky, because a ball of light crossed Spain and Portugal at 160,000 kilometers an hour. It was daylight for an instant, someone is quoted as saying. A ball of light has crossed the Iberian peninsula on Saturday night, being sighted in Andalusia, Castilla-La Mancha, the community of Madrid, Extremadura and Galicia, as well as in areas of northern Portugal and the capital Lisbon. A spokesperson for Emergencias 112, Comunidad de Madrid, has indicated that there have been several calls asking about an object that would have crossed the sky, causing a large green flash, although it has not been, the spokesperson, has not been able to confirm that it is a fireball. Portugal's civil protection has indicated the object that has been sighted may have fallen as a meteorite in the area of Castrodaire in the central region of the country. So, was it a bird? Was it a plane? Who knows what that light was that crossed Spain yesterday and Portugal at 160 kilometers an hour, very fast ball of light that turned night into day. And people wondering what the heck it was. What was it? Did it crash somewhere on the Iberian Peninsula in Spain or Portugal? Did it? Will we find remnants of this? I don't know. Or a big hole in the ground? Who knows what will be found as people search further to find out exactly, I should say, what this ball of light was that crossed the two countries yesterday. Interesting. And if you saw it, let us know in the chat section that you witnessed that ball of light. Now into the chat section we're going to go. Let's have a look. Into the comment section we're going to go. Firstly, here from Frank, Ceuta and Melilla have never been part of Morocco. Please research before commenting. Yeah, Frank, you'd also want to look at how you spell Morocco there, but apparently it is the case that Ceuta and Melilla have never formed part of modern-day Morocco. Yes, they are two autonomous cities that Spain controls in the north of Africa, and there is claims from Morocco to take these cities because they do sit in the north of Africa, which is today modern-day Morocco. But Frank points out, and this is the argument that you hear a lot here, that these two places never formed part of Morocco. And as I said, Morocco, I think, has only been an independent country since 1956. It was a French protectorate for a while, and before that, probably not a country per se. So not belonging to Morocco, but geographically today it does fall in Moroccan territory, let's say, excluding those two areas which belong to Spain, but surrounded by Morocco. So there are claims by Morocco to take those cities back, and Frank obviously referring to the controversy at the moment between the Spanish and Gibraltar, Spain-Gibraltar situation, Spain-UK-Gibraltar situation, or European Union, as somebody pointed out. Another comment here, Benidorm has enjoyed decades of benefits from British tourism. Ever since my mum and sister and pals spent again spelling mistake, 4 weeks in Valencia and Benidorm in the 1950s, and then Madrid and Santander, and the boat back to Southampton. Today, Benidorm is working class Brit holiday hub, or today it is that, with a different type of generation. Yeah, Benidorm, of course, I think we mentioned it on Friday. Can't remember the exact day, but on Friday I think it was mentioned as a place that is the most dangerous place in the world I'll repeat that, the most dangerous place in the world, let alone Spain or Europe, when it comes to scams. Apparently 12 million pounds worth of scams last year, people being ripped off for that quantity, and a warning going out, be careful if in Benidorm. Property scams they were talking about, also other types of scams that might happen there. But I think basically property scams was one of the main ones. People booking accommodation in Benidorm that turns out to be false. So be careful. So it's right up there when it comes to scams. But the headline was Benidorm, the world's most dangerous city. And it got people's attention clicking on that link, of course. But it was only when it comes to scams. And Benidorm, yeah, I've been there. I'm not going to lie. I've had a great time in Benidorm. If you want to party, if you want to let your hair down, Benidorm is a great place. And lots of people do that. What is Benidorm per se? Well, it's a fairly ugly-looking city on the Mediterranean. Again, just my opinion, high-rise apartments, but it is a holiday tourist destination here for millions of people, let's say, not only foreigners, but also Spanish. And the Brits or British bars and restaurant owners, let's say, have taken a part of Benidorm and turned it into a Little Britain down there, where they offer cheap food, cheap beer, and in general, a good time for people looking to get a holiday in the sun. On the cheap, let's say. Another one here. Overrated city, you mean, unless you like bumping into drunk Brits. Again, a criticism of Benidorm by user. And it is that alcohol tourism. It is one of the places where you will see it on display. People drinking far too much and getting up to shenanigans as a result of that alcohol intake. Not everybody, of course, but a lot of people go a little bit over the top in Benidorm, and basically it's become a place where people go to party, as I said, or at least a lot of international visitors go there for the party aspect. You party all night long, and then you spend the day in the sun, which is what a lot of people like to do, and shake off that hangover, if you like. Shake off the hangover. Another one here from, who's this? From Duncan. I live near Benidorm, and it definitely is the world's most dangerous place if you get offended by drunk Brits and shabby tourism. So Duncan, not a fan. But again, a lot of people do like it, and I'm going to say it's not the worst place that I've ever been to. Not the best, not the worst either. But if you want a nice Mediterranean climate, especially in the winter months, yeah, why not? It has all of the services on offer, and you don't have to get involved in that drunken tourism, if you like. You can stay away, but as I said, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Benidorm, some people like it, some people don't, but not the worst place that I have ever seen. One here from MDK. I think someone at Birmingham Live must have had a dreadful experience in Spain. That particular so-called news outlet is regularly writing articles trying to show Spain in a bad light, or maybe just jealous of the Spanish lifestyle. Don't think Birmingham has a lot going for it as a tourist destination. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I've never stepped foot in Birmingham. Maybe I stopped there to fill up the car, heading north one time, not sure. But don't know whether Birmingham has much going for it as a tourist destination or not. And lots of people from places like Birmingham, of course, those areas in the north of England, heading to sunnier climes, let's say. That's what they're looking for, and they get that in Spain. So that's why Benidorm has become popular. The Birmingham Live newspaper just picks up news from other sites. I think there's like a whole series of newspapers in the UK that belong to the same group, and they just put out the same type of article. So I chose Birmingham Live, but I could have found that same article in the Express or the Daily Mail or one of those other British newspapers that puts out sensationalist content. But Birmingham Live it was, and you do see a lot of negative articles about Spain. Always looking to get articles about Spain because obviously, click, 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 people are interested this time of year, May, looking for their summer holidays. And that's why they're clicking on those articles. So it's all about clickbait. And as I said in that video, people accuse me of clickbait. And the reason sometimes the titles might be a little bit clicky on my videos or anybody's videos is because we're competing with so many other people. We're competing with normal press. We're competing with content on YouTube. We're competing with TikTok videos. So if you don't put something clickable, and again, I would argue that my titles are not all that clickbaity. They relate always to something that I speak about in the news. But some people complain, as people do. But it's all about trying to get people to click, to watch the content that's being put out there. And Birmingham Live, I can understand why they do it. And if it gets them clicks, fair play to them. But again, yeah, it's what happens nowadays with that press outlet, with all press outlets around the joint. And the final one here, have you heard any pushback from the Spaniards regarding non-lucrative visas? And your thoughts, of course. Charles, I haven't heard any backlash regarding this particular visa. There is some backlash at the moment regarding I think it is the digital nomad visa, which has only been around for less than a year or 18 months max. And people are already complaining, bar owners and cafe owners are complaining that these digital nomads come into their establishments with their laptops, sit down, connect to the Wi-Fi, have a coffee and stay for a few hours and then, head off, using up valuable restaurant or cafe space and not really purchasing much more than a coffee. At least that's what the complaints were. And of course, other people complaining that rents get pushed up because digital nomads come here and they have to part of the visa requirement is they have to earn more than the average Spaniard. I think it's 200% the minimum salary. So if the minimum salary here in Spain is 1,200, 1,300 euros a month, which is what people do earn in Spain, the minimum salary, people of course earn more. People of course earn the minimum salary. So if you've got your digital nomad coming in with a minimum of 2,600 and obviously earning more, that's just the requirement to get the visa, then they're going to push the prices up. And it's as simple as that when it comes to rents. For example, in Lisbon, where the minimum salary is even lower than here in Spain. Of course, you come into Lisbon with your 2,000 euro plus salary, and you're the king. You're the king of Lisbon or the queen of Lisbon there while you were there. You can rent a decent apartment. You can eat in a nice establishment. You can drink your fancy coffee at Starbucks if you like, or better places in Portugal than Starbucks. But you get my drift, right? And it pushes the prices up for the locals because these are popular destinations. People want to work in these places. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. But governments, of course, have now got this issue that people are complaining and calling for an end to the digital nomad visa. Not sure that it will happen anytime soon, but as we saw with the golden visa, it creates secondary problems. People think that it's a good idea in the beginning because we're attracting foreign capital to the country or foreign workers to the country, but they create issues for the locals because Portuguese salaries don't go up. They stay where they are. Salaries here in Spain, again, are low in general. If you're the average Spaniard earning 1,800 euros a month, and you have to compete with somebody earning 2,800 euros a month, more and more people coming in, it creates an issue, and that's what we have. But better people than me will have to work that one out. More intelligent people, hopefully, will come to a solution with regard to the digital nomad visa. We'll see. Now into the chat section I'm going to go in just a moment. Before I do, backdrop change time, and this one sent in by Jeff, and it is Almeria. We can see the oleander bush or shrub there in the foreground with the pink flowers. Highly toxic plant is the oleander. But probably the only thing that would grow in that part of Spain, in the desert down there, and flowering away is the oleander. But thanks, Jeff, for sending this photo through of the desert down there in that part of Spain, in southern Spain. I think somebody said it's the only desert in Europe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I read recently. So thanks, Jeff, for sending that one through. If you've got a similar picture that you would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is this one here, spainspeaks@gmail.com. If you want to send something through to that email address there, please do. Or if you want to send something else my way, whether it's an article that you've seen, whether it's something related to Spain in any way, shape or form, please, spainspeaks@gmail.com is the place to send the info to. Now, while I'm on the subject of putting things on the screen, this one here from for likes, just below the button, just below the icon, you'll see the like icon, sorry, just below the video, I should say. Getting my words mixed up at this time of the day. So hit the like icon if you can. We're currently at 53. We'll see if we can get up to a decent tally today, maybe around the 100 mark, don't know. If you hit the like icon now, we'll see if we can get up to a decent tally. Also, people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's buying me a coffee. Kirk bought me some coffees today. Thank you very much, Kirk, for that. Greatly appreciated. I'll be able to have a few beers or coffees or a bottle of wine with that generosity from Kirk. Super thanks option also on YouTube, or super chat in the live streams. You can support the channel. Longer term supporters on Patreon, that's an option as well. And also the channel members, currently sitting at 68 channel members. I think Carol was the last person to join, so welcome to the club, Carol, with the YouTube Spain Speaks membership option. Thank you very much for that. Now, into the chat section I'm going to go. Let's get cracking here. Let me scroll up to the top. Fair bit of activity today, I can see. Andrew, the first person in the chat that I can see anyway. Valued member, also a channel member is Andrew. Good evening, Stuart and all. Hope you are enjoying the weekend from London Southeast. Thank you very much, Andrew, for that. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend too in that part of the world, Southeast London. Barbara coming in from Playa Flamenca here in Spain. 21 degrees Celsius today. Weather's warming up, Barbara. I think next weekend is going to be a warm weekend, and I reckon that we're going to go into the hotter weather from next weekend on, or at least here in this part of Spain where I am. About the same where I am today, 21 degrees, bit windy, a little bit overcast, a few drops of rain, but I reckon that from next week we're going to hit those summer temperatures. So we'll get ready, and hopefully it's not going to be as hot as it has been the last few summers, where those hot nights have made it unbearable in some parts of the country. So hopefully we won't get that hot, but fingers crossed we get a decent summer, but not overly hot. Erica coming in from Terrassa, 20 degrees there at the moment. Lots of orange warnings about heavy rainstorms. Bit not really true, although it has rained on and off lately. Yeah, I think Erica sent me the dam situation there in Tarragona. In fact, she's written it here. The dams have improved, but for the moment, at least in Terrassa, where we still have to control our water consumption, not very easy when you need to have when you need to use water for any basic needs. A real struggle. Yes, Eric, let's hope that you do get some more rain before that summer kicks in, right? Because that's the worry. Darren coming in, been to Broadstairs today. Lovely day in Kent. Now back in Sidcup. Spoke to his dad in, where's that? Jacarilla. Torrevieja is fine. Thanks, Darren, for that. Speaking to his dad there in Spain, Darren. Stephen coming in from Wales, celebrating with a drop of the usual Rioja. Cheers, mate. Thanks, Stephen, for that. Lovely sunny day there. Valued member 2 is Stephen. Tio Al, Uncle Al, Alan, our regular San Diego, sometimes Spain contributor. Obviously, back in El Puerto on the 4th of July. So, what's that? 4th of July? Well, I was going to say that's Independence Day, isn't it? Or something in the States. But back in Spain then, so in more a month and a bit, right? 17 degrees there. So been a bit chilly in that part of the US, but looking forward, obviously, to getting back to El Puerto and having one of those Cruz Campos that Alan likes so much. Jay coming in from not sure where, but one of Jay's favourite bridges in Valencia City over the Turia River, or the dry riverbed that is the Turia. Yeah, this is the picture that I have on the, what is it, the I can't remember what it's called, but it's the photo that you see on the video on YouTube. I can't remember exactly what it's called. There is a name for it, but I can't remember exactly what you call those at the moment. But yeah, you know what I mean. When you see on YouTube all of the different pictures, that is the picture today that somebody sent through. In fact, I've got it here. I'll just put it on the screen here quickly because I've got it here. But this was the picture of the on the thumbnail. That's the word. This one here, the Puente, I think it is. Not sure exactly which one, but going over the river there in Valencia. So thanks for that, for Carol for sending that one through the other day. And of course this one on the backdrop today from Jeff. Janet coming in, valued member 2, coming in from Oxford. Man City win premiership, 4th consecutive time. Yeah, great to win the premiership so many times, Janet, but no luck this year in the Champions, I don't think, for Mr. Guardiola and company. Real Madrid, of course, going to play off for that cup against the German team, I believe. So successful in the Premier, very close with the Arsenal there today. But of course, no luck for other teams that were a fair way off the leaders there. And here in Spain, Real Madrid, a huge distance between it and the second team. I think a little bit closer in the Premier League, but big difference between 1st and 5th, for example, in a lot of these leagues. Marianne coming in, thanks for the trip to Avila, great choice. It brought back memories of students a study abroad before COVID. Yeah, interesting city, Avila. I'm not going to say it's one of my favourite places. I find it to be a little bit too, touristy, if you like. Everything seems to be geared towards the tourist there, whereas you go to other cities in Castile, Leon, you can find less touristy places. All of these places here in Avila, which are trying to get you to eat the food, expensive food, to sit down and have an expensive drink. All of these things in the old part of town. If you go into the newer part of town, of course, you can find Spanish prices, but in the old part of town, not. I didn't find any on my trip there. There could be some, but again, very touristy, like Toledo. If you've ever been to Toledo, you'll know what I mean. I found that the same with Avila. Too close to Madrid, basically. You need to be another hour away to get away from that Madrid influence. 1, 2, 3, another valued member here, of course, coming in from County Waterford. Warm day there now. Thunder. Real Betis, according to Janet, must be a football fan here. Real Betis, the Seville club, losing 0-1. They need to win to be sure of a place in Europe, I think. There we go. All the family are watching. So Janet's family, obviously, Beticos, not the other team down there in Seville. Of course, Seville has 2 big clubs, Betis and Seville Football Club. One is green, one is red. Dr. GG coming in from Santiago de Compostela. Cold and wet there. Fairly normal, GG, right? But nice return, if only for a day. Headed south tomorrow to walk in some warmer weather. Needs the sun, does GG. Some sun on the bones there on the scooter as GG gets around on the different caminos. John, high flyer, coming in. New kitchen installed, almost finished with a day to spare before our return to the UK on Tuesday. A few beers tonight, I think. Have a great week. John's been down in Spain recently doing renovation works. Not much of a holiday for John, but got a few beers in there nonetheless. What do we got going on? Bronny coming in here from South Wales, 21 degrees Celsius there. Thanks for the live stream. Thanks for tuning in, Bronny. Harry coming in from Scotland, I imagine, saying hello. Hello, Scotland. Hello, Harry. Stephen coming in from San Diego, another San Diego viewer. From there, but listening to the live chat from Malaga, down there in the south of Spain. Exploring with Jen, who sends me things regularly, content. Thanks, Jen, for that. Saying hello from Valencia. Alan coming in from a lovely warm southeast London, enjoying the live stream. Good to see you, Alan. Let's have a look here. Where's this? Val, I think this is. Coming in from Ana Cortes, Washington, USA. Enjoying the regular updates as we prepare, I imagine, for a trip back to Spain, I presume. Philip coming in from less stormy East Tennessee, 26 Celsius and muggy. Pamela, San Juan de los Terreros, joining us this evening down there in the south of Spain. Renan coming in from LA, regular viewers, everyone. Iggy coming in from Jaén, sunny down there, fantastic city, Jaén. I was surprised. It's one of those cities that a lot of people drive by on their way to other parts of Andalusia, mainly Granada and Malaga. Of course, it's not one of the more monumental type cities, if you like a Córdoba or a Seville or a Granada, let's say, but an interesting city nonetheless, and worth stopping. Ross coming in from Valencia. First live view for a while, 27 degrees Celsius there. Going to get hotter, Ross, so we've got to get prepared for the summer. I think those summer temperatures just around the corner. Sani coming in from Basingstoke. Maybe it wasn't a spelling mistake. I might have been wrong. I'm not sure. I might have been wrong. So if I was wrong, I apologise. Andrew coming in from Benidorm is the bigger part of the best part of Benidorm is the bigger part of it where the Brits don't go. Thanks, Andrew, for that. Yeah, that is true. Benidorm is quite big, as we know. 2 very long beaches, and you can find plenty of places where you don't get this British element, if you're not looking for that, of course. If you're looking for that, you can find it, no problems. But if you don't want that, if you want more of a Spanish-type holiday, you can find places there. Lots of places indeed. If you head down to one little corner, it's where you find all of the British bars and restaurants and all of these things. But there are plenty of other places that you can go to. What else? Let's have a look. Heidi coming in saying hello. Benny York is her idea of a nightmare holiday. Hard pass Altea is nicer. Yeah, but as I said, Heidi, I mean, each to their own. Some people like Benidorm, nothing wrong with that. And as I said, one time that I went there, yeah, fantastic. Went there with some friends once, had a great time. Went there another time with the family. Also had a decent time as well. Can't complain. Fluttergirl coming in from Toronto, where summer has finally arrived. Erica coming in from, we saw Erica coming in from Terrassa before. Morocco in the 1900s was under French and Spanish ruling. Let's not forget that it was called the Guerra del Rif. Apart from being an absolute disaster for Spain, it gave Franco and pals to rule Spain. Well, that's where it's where it all started for Franco, right? I think he was stationed in Morocco, a young man general, 36 years of age, I think he was when he took control. General, very, very young to be a general, obviously because of his efforts during that particular or different wars, I imagine. They're in the Sahara Desert and things like that, being promoted. Because normally you wouldn't become a general in today's Spanish army. You wouldn't become a general at least until you were in your early 50s, mid-50s, I don't think. I don't think anyone would become a general before then. But, Franco did it at the age of 36. Larry coming in from Tazacorte down there in the Canaries. Janet saying that Birmingham, not an obvious tourist destination unless you're interested in its industrial heritage. It has a wonderful city museum. I think every city has always something to see, but comparing Birmingham, as a main tourist destination, I don't really think so, but I'm sure some people would go there. You can get outstanding Indian cuisine in Birmingham, says Andrew. No doubt you can. You can get outstanding Indian cuisine in many cities in the United Kingdom. The photo's stunning, says Fluttergirl. Thanks for that. Great background photo also, says Marianne. Chrissy, coming in from Granada. What causes the gale force wind here all day for the last 8 days? Not sure, Chrissy, but been windy there. Carol, valued member now, as I mentioned before. Thanks for the welcome. Thanks for that, Carol. Thanks for tuning in. Happy to join us. Alan's saying that the hospitality venues that are complaining, let me see if I can make this one a bit bigger, that have free Wi-Fi are inviting people who linger. I had a restaurant in Hollywood, did not offer Wi-Fi. I was at a coffee shop that would offer 15s of Wi-Fi's with purchase. I think that's what that says there. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, if you're offering free Wi-Fi, obviously people would take advantage of that. But I think, obviously, people have to be responsible, right? If you go into a place and sit there for 2 or 3 hours, which is what these businesses are complaining of, well, really, your digital nomad should say, well, maybe I've been here for a little bit too long. Now, as somebody also pointed out in the comment section, you can get, data. You can get data deals nowadays for, you can get data packages for a decent price. So do you need to be connected to Wi-Fi? Sometimes the Wi-Fi in these places isn't even fast. Marco coming in from Portugal. Happy Sunday, mate. Cheers and beers. Thanks, Marco, for that. Good to see you in the chat. Stephen spent a couple of days in Torremolinos. Interestingly, a restaurant owner praised my Spanish from the US, commenting he knows many Irish who've been in the area for 10 years and still don't know gracias. Yeah, the reason is, Stephen, because people come to Spain and the last thing a lot of people want to do, or is, I'm not going to say the last thing they want to do, but they find it difficult to learn the language. And there's a lot of people that speak their language down there. There's businesses, and they can get by quite well without having to learn the local lingo. And at the end of the day, I think that's what most annoys a lot of the locals down there, a lot of the Malaga locals or the Alicante locals or Valencia locals, is why don't these people at least have the common decency to learn the language? Everyone else learns it when they come to live here, but these giddies do not. And if you do go down there with language skills, of course, you go a lot further, in my opinion. But a lot of people don't think it's necessary, and it can be difficult. It can be difficult. Marcus coming in, super chat here from Marcus. Thanks for that, Marcus. We represent everything they detest. A very polite way of saying that he detests everything Malay represents. Thanks, Marcus. Basically, that's it. These ideological back and forths that we have nowadays. The ultra-right, the ultra-left. Pont de Flores is what it's called. Thanks, Ross. That's right, it is Carol's photo, the one that we saw the other day. Philip coming in from a 21-degree, warm, sunny London. One son supports Man City, the other one Arsenal. There we go. So obviously the Arsenal supporter not all that happy today. Not all that happy. Millet says, Larry should focus on his own country and its very serious economic problems rather than take potshots at Spain and its government. Argentina can only dream of having an economy as sound as Spain. True, Larry, true. The Argentine economy has seen better days. Don't know when it saw better days, but it has seen better days. And rampant inflation. Rampant. Steve coming in from Valencia, very much agreed that Toledo is nicer than Avila. Yeah, it is a nicer city probably, Toledo, but my point was that there's so many tourists there because it's so close to Madrid. Toledo only, 50, 60 kilometers, maybe a little bit more, probably 80 maybe from Madrid. Tourist buses down there constantly. Avila the same. It's in, an hour and a bit from Madrid. That's the issue. Whereas if you get a little bit further away, you go to a Valladolid, for example, you don't get the same masses. You go to a Salamanca, for example, you don't get the same masses that you get in Avila and Toledo, unfortunately. But it's the business. Marilyn, I let my apartment in Mijas. I'm confused as I'm not Airbnb or hotel is giving a client invoice to client enough to get them through passport control, or whether they'll be sent back to UK. Yes, I think that is the case. You're talking about this carta de invitación, I think, Marilyn, but I think that should be okay if people are worried about that. But again, not everyone gets asked for this carta de invitación. It was brought in, obviously, as a way to control people's stays here, because a lot of people come here to Spain on a tourist visa and never go back. Maybe not the case of somebody in the UK, maybe not the case of somebody from the States, maybe not the case of somebody from Canada or Australia where they've got a decent job to go back to, but maybe from some other countries, not mentioning any countries per se, but we know that some people are looking to improve their life. So they come here on a tourist visa, never go back, hence the carta de invitación, so at least the police know roughly where these people are, should their name come up in some type of future check. Stu coming in from Santa Cruz de Tenerife. Lucky to be down there. Lucky. Back in the 30s next week, says Chrissy. Atletico losing away to Osasuna. I think Atletico's playing at home today, Darren, because my partner and son have gone to the game. So I think they're at home, Atletico. In fact, I don't think, I know they're at home, because they're not here. It's only me and the dog. Rita, you were in Salamanca. Have we missed the video of yours from there? No, I haven't published it yet, Rita. I've got so much footage to get through, because basically I spent a day and a half just recording everything I saw, because it was such a magnificent city. And I'll put it together, try to make a decent video out of the footage that I've got, and we'll see. Olga going to Albacete after watching the video of mine on YouTube. Yeah, Albacete again, a nice city. Nothing, there's nothing really stands out in Albacete, but it's a pleasant place to visit for a day or two. Walk around, quite flat. Plenty of places to see around Albacete also, if you've got a car. So an interesting place, like so many cities here. But again, it's no Toledo, Albacete. It's in the same autonomous community. It's no Cuenca, Albacete. Probably similar to Ciudad Real, if that makes sense. Anyone from Ciudad Real will know what I'm talking about. What else? Let's have a look here. Yusuf, getting a lesson in ethics from Starbucks and the like about the unethical behaviour from their customers is particularly hilarious, says Yusuf. Marco will be back in Andalusia at the end of the month. Happy days. Good. I hope all goes well with that change of scenery, Marco. Elena coming in from Sarasota, Florida, wishing she were in Alicante. Paul is enjoying an Estrella Galicia from Edinburgh, up there in Scotland. Edinburgh. Chrissy had 14 months, had lessons for 14 months, correct Spanish, but in the village, very Andalusia and difficult. Do my best. My Spanish friend and I interact. She's practicing English and me Spanish. Yeah, Chrissy, keep at it. I know it's hard. Having lessons for 14 months and, getting that level that you've got. I know it's difficult, but, you can do your best. And, of course, when you're living in Andalusia down there, the accent can be a bit of a struggle sometimes. They don't pronounce a lot of the ends of words down there in Andalusia. You can get a bit confused. But, always best to learn as much as you can and try to interact as much as you can. And with your Spanish friend, of course, that's the best thing, that language exchange, right? You show them a little bit of English. They'll show you a little bit of Spanish. Bob coming in from Alicante. Atletico are at home today. Yeah, of course, that's what I said a minute ago. That is exactly right. Ian went to Porto in Portugal last month. Ashamed to say that I kept automatically saying gracias to people. Yeah, in Portugal, the word obrigado is more common. They do use the word gracias, I think, or at least they'll understand what it means, of course. I don't think anyone would be offended by you using that. And I have heard people saying the word gracias, but maybe it's only because they're replying to people that have come from Spain. But obrigado, the way to say thank you in Portuguese, of course. But I don't think people would be offended if you say hola en vez de hola, or gracias en vez de Obrigado. I think the most important thing is that you show your gratitude for the service that you get. Andrew's always doing his best to speak Spanish when in Spain, but having major problems with the difference between tuviera and tuviese. Don't think there's much difference between those two, to be honest, Andrew. I think you can use them interchangeably, I think. Davina coming in from Miami. Question, what's your favourite place in Spain and why? Well, so many places, Davina. So many places that I've been to. So many places yet to visit. But everywhere I go, I like. And the most recent place was Salamanca. Loved it. The north of Spain, the cities in Galicia, loved them all. Malaga has its moments. Other parts of Andalusia. Jaén, liked Jaén for the time that I was there. Basically everywhere I go I like. Just gets me away from my routine here. So that's one of the reasons why I like travelling everywhere. Zaragoza, loved it. A bit cold when I was there, but loved the city. Easy to get around. So basically it's where don't I like. Real lovely from a temperate La Mesa. Made a live stream. Thanks for all. Thanks for that. Obrigada, if female, says John. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's only obrigada if you are a female saying thank you, right? Juan, from the boost to their economies. Not sure if that's related to something else. And we love Bury St Edmunds. Looking forward to coming back to Spain, June, July. Camino de Francés. Bring it on. Hope all goes well with that Camino de Francés. Edward Avila is one of my favourites. Yeah, again, not one of my favourites. I wouldn't put it in my top 10. But again, there's so many places to see. And the fact that I didn't get a decent tapper at that bar that I went to put it further down the list than it should be. But again, outskirts of the city, you can probably find something decent. But no comparison for me from the other city that I visited on that trip, which was Salamanca. For me, clear winner, Salamanca. And Casa del Sol, which main street in Madrid is the Three Kings on? Thinking of taking in festivities in 2025. Thank you. Three Kings, you're talking about what, the 6th of January or the 5th of January when they have that Three Kings parade? I don't know exactly where it is, probably in the centre, probably going through the Castellana, Puerta del Sol, Gran Via, that central area of Madrid. But again, I'm sure there will be some type of map put out before, so you can check it out. The local one here just goes around the local streets here, so all of the kids come out and try and get their a pocket full of sweets, lollies, whatever you want. And but in Madrid I'd say to be in that central area there. And Salamanca, an amazing place. Look forward to seeing the video. Thanks Marco for that. I'll try and get it out this week, hopefully, but you never know. Now that's the end of the live stream. 47 minutes. We've gone a bit over today, but never mind. Back again tomorrow with a regular video. Another live stream on Tuesday. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating in the chat. Long chat today to get through, but that's what we like, right? Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Until Tuesday. Bye-bye.